Back again with another video. This video is going to be a recap on a video I did a while back, but I deleted it because I didn't like some of the things that was said and some of the content that was in it. So it's going to be back on love work and time of manifestation. Some simple things at the beginning. Before you even get to the point of have to come into a root worker for your help, the person that you was involved in, your significant other, male, female, doesn't make a difference. Remember when y'all was best friends before you became lovers? Remember that? Remember when y'all was best friends? Remember when you were able to sit down with your significant other and talk about everything and anything, what frightened you, what made you happy, what made you sad, your weaknesses, your strengths? Remember that. Okay, remember that. Before it gets to the point where y'all standing there cursing each other out lower than dogs and saying things that shouldn't be said to one up the other one. So just remember that. I mean, when you walk outside and you see a big puddle of oil or water underneath your car, you hurry up and get it to the mechanic to get it checked. Do the same thing with your love life. Don't hold things in to explode like a volcano and not just your human emotions took over and saying things and doing things that shouldn't be said at the time. Because when that happens, like I said, you're standing there, you're saying things, you're cursing each other, police done got involved, you're leaving from the house and you're laughing and joking, I told that motherfucker. And 6 hours later, you sitting someplace rubbing your head going, why I said that? Why did I say these words? Try to remember that, okay? Manifestation on love work. The best love work I like to do when somebody called me and said, look, I met this man, this woman in the office or where I work at, and we speak, during the day we sit down at lunch and we speak, but I'd like to have a little bit more with that. And that's the best kind. One, because there's nothing there. I mean, there's no betrayal, no anger, no jealousy. So that the work doesn't have anything to fight through. That's the best work to have. I mean, that's fast manifestation. The most manifestation, the fastest I ever had was 72 hours, okay? The longest it took was about 2.5 years on a job that was 10 years being broke up, and they both lived on each coast of the United States. One lived on the East Coast, one lived on the West Coast. But the person that contracted to do the work, I mean, they was adamant that they wanted this person back. And I mean, they hit the work when they went out every day for 2.5 years. When about a year came up, I called the client back, as I do. I check on my clients when I'm working for them. But as that time went on, it wasn't like once a week or twice a week. It was going, almost right before a month, I would call and check. And I called after about 6 months, almost 7 months. And I said, look, I'm seeing manifestation on my side is very, very weak. Here's our options. Keep the work going, we shut the work down. And the client was adamant, no, keep the work running. I want this person back in my life. Fine. Work kept going. After 10 years, it was about 2.5 years before it finally manifested. And he had called, made contact with her. She was on the East Coast. And he flew there, spent a weekend. They sat down over dinner and talked and worked over the problems that they had. And right after that, about a month, 2 months later, they was talking on the phone. And she said that he called her and wanted to marry her again. So she sold all her businesses she had where she was at and flew to him. And I think it was 2.5, maybe 3 months after that, she called me and invited me to the wedding. It was in San Francisco. So don't be discouraged. I mean, this was 10 years these people were apart. And the client still had feelings for this person. So that can work. I mean, I've been in a position where you lost somebody and you think the world's going to come to an end, and that's all you think. Anybody that tries to give you advice, in your mind you're saying, you don't know what I'm going through. Yeah, everybody knows you're going through, because if you hadn't went through that in life, something wrong with you. I mean, or either you well protected, one of the two. But we were sending love work out, mostly in honey jars and stuff, and it's anywhere from a month to 6 months to a year they hadn't seen these people. And we tell the clients, I mean, look, this may take this amount of time. Everybody comes with the thing about how many days, 10 days, 21 days, I hit 21 days. I don't give time. I mean, I give movement. That's how you tell if your work is working, is manifesting. A lot of the people out here that use 21 days, they're not saying that it's going to take 21 days to get your lover back or your significant back. What they're saying is after 21 days, they'll reevaluate what has been done and see if more work can be put to it to make it a little bit better, a little bit stronger. Now, the people that do that, a bunch of them don't charge for that work. They just add it, you know, to get the manifestation for what they was contracted to do by the client. I've had people call 2 weeks after the work went out. I don't see no movement. I don't see no movement. I feel that you took me for money. How the hell you gonna see movement in 2 weeks? I mean, it barely went out into the universe to get started. And a lot of people under the concept that when it manifests, it's like in the movies, you see the two people running slow motion in a field of flowers, and the woman jumps up and wraps herself around the man. And that's Hollywood, baby. I mean, that all happened in real life. I mean, what we call movement manifestation is simple things. Simple things. Seeing a person at certain places you've never seen them before is movement. Getting a text message is movement. Having them in your dream is a movement. Because the subconscious, when you're sleeping, is going to project what may take place in the future. And people don't realize that. They want the Hollywood manifestation. It doesn't work like that. Like I said, the fastest I had was 72 hours, and the longest was 2.5 years. And I've had success in between that. But a lot of people hit the work hard and with conviction, and it comes through. A lot of people think when they get the honey jar and the candles, stuff like that, they like that once, walk away from it, and that's supposed to be it. It doesn't work like that. I mean, we don't want the people back. I don't want the person. I mean, if you're trying to bring your girlfriend back, I don't want her. I mean, if she comes knocking my door at night, I'll put her in one of the rooms and stuff and make the appointments for the flight back to you. But I mean, I don't want them back. It's your intentions, the 100% that you're putting in. The more you put in and project and hit it, the more you're going to get back. It's going to be faster. Now, having said that, if you was in a situation where it was a lot of turmoil going on or violence, that might take some time. And you got to remember, you, even as a client, when the work manifests and these people walk back into your life, you have to be a different person. You can't be the same person while y'all broke up, because the other person ain't gonna I ain't staying, you ain't changed. I mean, you're the same person. You have to change. Once it works, you have to keep it going yourself. You have to keep them. And I've had people call me up after manifestation. People moved in, they getting into arguments. Well, the work didn't work. Yeah, the work did. It came back into your life. I never told you once, ever during our interview and intake that once they come back in, that's how it's going to be. You have to keep them. You have to change the problems that you had. All right? I'm not telling you to be subservient to somebody and bow your head to somebody. I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you to fix the little quirks that brought you up to where you had to call me or another root worker to solve this for you. So, and how you leave. The more turmoil that's going on, the harder work is going to be. I know when you're mad, you're going to say shit that you don't mean. You're going to try to one over somebody. Yeah, that's all fine and dandy at that moment, but when things cool down a couple hours, a couple of days later, you beating yourself to death, wondering why you spoke these words. Remember all that. Remember back what I said at the beginning of this video. Your best friend is somebody you can talk to as a friend. And if you run yourself like that, it's going to be all right. You're not going to have trouble. The way y'all going to break up, everybody has troubles. Everybody has issues. But you'll be able to sit down and talk to them. Okay? Just treat whoever it is like a human being, like you want to be treated. Okay? The simplest rule to go by in life. Treat people like you want to be treated. And you shall see returns on that. As far as work, the price on it, the minimum price for myself is $500, and a lot of other people charge up to $1,200 for it. I said on the previous video, shop around. You shop around for prices on your big screen, your car, your house, your iPhone. You shop around for the right price on fuel, the food market you go to for the prices. Shop around for your root worker. The best thing I can tell you, the ones that's on YouTube all the time, are the ones that's out here doing the work and are honest about it, because our faces are splattered out here 24/7. You have our name, you have our phone numbers, you have our websites, you have our Facebook sites, you have our Instagram sites. So we really can't hide, okay? And there was this one lady from another root worker. He did the work. 24 hours later, she came back and was upset that she had been scammed. She seen no movement. 24 hours? I mean, Jesus Christ. But when she calmed down and started seeing movement, she called and, basically apologized to the man. So that's what I mean. Just because you think it goes out and it's not working, you've been scammed. It don't work like that. It has things to do. It has to hack down the trouble that you had before it can end it. And as far as the manifestation time, it's what you did with it before y'all broke up. If it was a violent relationship and I find that out, there's a 7 out of 10 chance that I won't take the case. Okay? Why am I going to bring back an abusive spouse to you and you getting the crap beat out of you all the time? It goes back to many of the videos I said about that word on the street, ooh, but I love him. Well, there was a young lady like that, kept telling me that for about 3 years. And at one time, she was a very attractive young lady. But then when she had the scars over her eyes that had to be stitched, her lip had been busted 5 and 6 times, she never got stitched. Her nose had a twist to it. She had bruises on her face that never really healed up. The last time I heard her say, ooh, but I love him, she couldn't. He had done beat the dog shit out of her and killed her in the fucking house, beat her to death. Now, I might be wrong, and it's just my opinion on this. That's some cruel-ass love. That's something you have to be deal with. That's something you have to get counseling on. I mean, if you want them that bad back into your life, you need to go have counseling when they walk back through the door. Physical or mental. Mental abuse is just as bad as physical abuse. Now you're trying to Jedi mind fuck somebody's psyche. And that's not right. These are human beings. This person, at one time, you'd have never ever, you'd have swore you'd die before you did that. Remember the shit you swear to, okay? Just let the work and it takes its place and let it run. I usually give it 6 months, almost pushing a year in some cases, and I call the client back and say, look, we need to decide what we need to do. We need to let the work keep working, maybe add some things to it, or shut it down. And before that, a lot of clients will be mad, calling y'all, I don't see nothing. And then you sit down and you talk to them, you hear all the movement that they're getting, and they're not even realizing. That's why I said before with the 21-day to 10-day, I've even heard people say 24 hours. Look, if you call somebody and say, I can get your love back 24 hours, you need to hang the phone up and block the number. That is total horse shit. No way. Sorry, it ain't happening. That's just the way of the world. And that sounds real good to you. And 24 hours. What's your price? $1,200. Okay, how you want it? And now you come to another root worker like myself, and you got scammed 2 and 3 times. As I said in another video, I don't want to hear it no more. All right? I don't. You need to shop around. You need to check this out. This is that much important in your life, and you're going to pay a certain amount of dollars. You need to check it. Okay? And thinking that root work is dirt cheap, I can get this done for $20. Well, go to the person that charge you $20. Okay? Simple as that. Go to them and charge them, give them the price for 24 hours. That'll never work. But just remember, in love, try to correct before it gets out of hand. Remember that this was a person at one time that you probably told them that 2 things. 1, I'll give you the moon, or 2, I'll die for you. Remember those 2 quotes that you made, okay? And you'll see things different, okay? Stop trying to one-up each other. Stop that. That ain't gonna do no good, but piss people off, and that's what make people not go back. So, this is a recap on a video I deleted. I hope it answers some questions. If not, my comments are always open. I'll listen to the comments and answer. If you have better ideas, I'll be glad to put them into effect. I'm learning all the time. So I hope this answers some questions. And as always, like, share, and subscribe.